if you look beyond Christianity into Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Sufism, even in the indigenous traditions, you'll find the same hidden truth, whispered across time, that you are not separate from the divine. The hidden truth about spiritual awakening and what they don't want you to know about. Welcome back to the channel, dear one. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about spirituality, about God, about yourself, has been carefully filtered, edited, censored, not to awaken you, but to keep you asleep? Because the greatest secret, the one hidden in plain sight, is not just that divinity exists, but that you are divine. And the moment you realize that, deep in your bones, deep in your soul, everything changes. The world as you know it unravels, the illusion dissolves, and you finally see the truth. So are you ready to wake up? Number 1, the spiritual censorship that nobody talks about. For centuries, humanity has searched for truth. The truth of the matter. Why are we here? Ever since I was a kid, the first question that I had was, what is the meaning of life? We've built temples, written scripts, followed prophets. And yet the deeper you look, the more you realize something unsettling. The real teachings, the ones that empower you, are often the very ones removed, rewritten, or hidden. Let's talk about the Bible. I know it's a sensitive issue and I do not mean to offend anybody. So most people assume it's always existed in its current form, a book downloaded straight from the heavens. But in reality, it was compiled, debated, and manipulated, and not by the universe, by men. The New Testament wasn't even official until 382 AD, centuries after Jesus had lived. And the Old Testament, it was finalized in 100 AD after Jewish scholars decided what was holy and what wasn't. But here is the kicker. Many texts were deliberately left out. The Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of Thomas. Why? Because they didn't preach obedience. They didn't reinforce hierarchy. Instead, they pointed to something far more dangerous, something powerful. They said the divine is not separate from you. It's within. Number 2, the radical truth Jesus actually taught. For over 2,000 years, one name has echoed through history more than any other: Jesus. But who was he really? A divine exception? A one-of-a-kind miracle? Or was he showing us something far more profound? Here's something most people don't know. Jesus never actually said, "Worship me." Instead, he said, "The kingdom of God is within you. You will do even greater things than I have. I and the Father are one." And the religious leaders of his time, they hated that. Because he wasn't preaching submission, he was revealing power, people's power, power within. His real message wasn't, "I am the only Son of God." It was, "You are divine too. You just don't remember it yet." But history took a different path. Instead of embracing this awakening, the institutions that followed turned Jesus into an idol, someone to be worshipped, not someone to learn from. They took his teachings of divine unity and twisted them into separation. Instead of realization, they gave us religion. Instead of oneness, they gave us obedience. Instead of telling us, "You are powerful," They made sure we always felt unworthy. Why? Because a person who realizes their own divinity cannot be controlled. 3. The lost teachings across cultures. But Jesus wasn't the only one to teach this. If you look beyond Christianity into Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Sufism, even in the indigenous traditions, you'll find the same hidden truth whispered across time, that you are not separate from the divine, that enlightenment isn't received for prophets and saints, it is your birthright. The Bhagavad Gita says, the self is never born, nor does it ever die. The Upanishads declare, Tattvam Asi. You are that. You are the divine. The Quran said, God is closer to you than your own jugular vein. Buddha taught that enlightenment is simply waking up from the illusion of separateness. Do you see the pattern? Different voices, different languages, different ages, the same message, and yet that message keeps getting lost, buried, forgotten, because an awakened being is a free being, and history has never been kind to those who cannot be controlled or who do not want to be controlled for the moment of awakening. And that brings us to you, because if you've ever felt it, that whisper in your soul, that moment of clarity where the world suddenly makes sense, then you already know this truth. You just forgot. And that's okay. We all do. And now you remember. And that changes everything. The world has told you that you are small, that you are separate, that you must earn divinity, that you must beg for grace, that you must seek salvation. But here's the truth. You were never separate. You were never unworthy. You were never just human. You are the universe, dreaming of itself. You are divinity in motion. And the moment you realize that, the game changes forever. Are you ready to step into your power? Because the awakening isn't coming. It's already here. It's you.